Suladan Plays Driftmoon, Enchanted Edition. Last time we had a bit of a strange day with the technical difficulties and all, but this time I think I figured... Shush. I think we've got that sorted out. To the best of my knowledge at the moment, it appears that something went weird when the microphone was hooked up to the computer. It didn't register it under the usual name in the device manager. It registered it under a kind of a weird, half-corrupted, it's like USB MI symbol. So when the computer figured that out and caught up and renamed it, OBS lost its connection to it because it had connected under that name. So when the name changed, it just went... That's at least my running theory, because I have seen it do it one other time, which was strange, and potentially due to the USB hub and some other oddities in the, systeming. But, in any case, it should work now. This shouldn't happen again, and now I've got it where I can see the sound stuff out of the corner of my eye better, so that if it vanishes, I'll be able to see it quicker. Because now I'm paranoid about it happening again, even though it probably won't. But, yeah, let's go to the steam whale, because we unfroze the captain, and that was the last thing. So, piratey goodness. Into the submarine. I feel like that should be the front and that should be the back, but I know why that's the front, because you can see from all sides. Will you stop sneezing at me, sir? This place is loud. Okay, Sarah, what now? You've saved Captain Catdog. I don't know how to thank you enough. I'm forever in your debt. The captain winks at you from behind her. The captain is behind me, though. Oh, this is horrible. Yeah, anyway, you're welcome. Sarah hugs you and smiles warmly. You're my hero. Okay, the captain is here and the Zapdil's in place. Is that all? I think everything's ready now. We've already plotted the route with the captain, and the eel is zapping away happily. When you're ready, just press that big red button next to the eel tank and we'll start our voyage. Oh yay, I get to press a big red button. Yeah, I feel the button is particularly impressive. It starts the eel tickler. Sarah smiles knowingly. Just remember, once you press it, we're not coming back till we visit Eione. Once the eel feels ticklish, we have to use that pent-up energy, or we better start finding a way to breathe underwater quick. I am concerned by your machination. Should I be concerned by the weird earth shaking that I keep seeing? That. Why? Why is the world shaking? Captain. Oh dear. Aye, this voyage is doomed, I tell you. Are you ready for our big cruise to the Isle of Eione? Or Eione. I'm gonna keep mispronouncing it, just probably because of habit. Yeah, as ready as I'll ever be. I'm not expecting to swim with the sugar dolphins. I'm just hoping we'll get there and live to tell the tale. You mentioned Eione is surrounded by all kinds of dangers? Aye, we'll just have to hope we get through them alive, lad. Those currents are the most treacherous ones I've ever seen, and I've done more than my fair share of sailing. The very thought of the pirates and the trained ninja piranhas, not to mention that horrible undead man, is enough to make my knees wobble like a sea cucumber. And the mermaids, I really hope we don't run into them. Catdog beckons you closer and whispers into your ear conspiratorially. Never tell them I said it, but their singing is pure torture, even to a tone-deaf old captain such as myself. Why, if I had been a musician, I probably would have dropped dead right upon hearing it. How you feeling, Iceman? Iceman, by the blowing blizzards, you are a funny chap, aren't you? Old Catdog shakes with laughter, his hand jumping up and down along with his stomach. I'm feeling cooler than normal, not that I wasn't cool enough to begin with. The captain nudges you with his elbow and winks. But I still have a terrible cold from the whole affair. I can't stand for 2 minutes without sneezing my brains out. Sarah glances at the old man. Yeah, she says it's not my brains coming out through my nose, but I'm not fully convinced. Do you think this submarine is decent enough for the trip to Eione? Decent? Why, this little lobster is the best ship you could wish for. That is, if you're crazy enough to wish for a ship that'll take you to Eione at all. And it seems, my lad, you are. The captain rolls his eyes and mutters under his breath. Going to that wretched Eione again, even though I swore to myself I'd never return. It'll be the end of me. What do you think of Sarah? Why, she's the sweetest thing, isn't she? Always been cuter than a baby seal, that girl, and never knowing it herself. But I tell you, I think she's gotten a bit bewildered by the attention the arrogant young men, those opportunistic octopi, have given her. I think she'd really appreciate it if her Prince Charming got to know her a little before they go making a sudden proposal or swearing their eternal devotion. The old captain pauses and glances at Sarah. I've known her from a little babe, and while she may sometimes be a real bookworm and take her job a tad too seriously, her heart is golden. Fair enough. Goodbye, Captain. Push the button. Boink. As you push the big red button in the middle of Steamy's control board, the engine starts off with a loud roar. But just as suddenly as it started, it coughs and stops. After a few frantic attempts to give treats to the eel, and many loud swears by the captain about another bug in the engine, the problem is solved and Steamy's engine starts to whir again, this time with a beat steady enough to accompany a grand orchestra. At least they're taking good care of the eel. Sarah gently maneuvers the small submarine through the narrow underwater passage leading out of Steamy's cave hideout. After a few minutes, the darkness of the passage, you are left blinking by... After a few minutes in the darkness of the passage, you are left blinking by the beautiful turquoise lights, light softly reflected through the ice above. When you look out through the glass, it's a completely different world, eerie and tranquil at the same time. I'm having Subnautica flashbacks, and now I'm having Subnautica Below Zero flashbacks, and now I want to play them both. This is not a good sign, people. I'll vanish for weeks. While you marvel at the scenery and try to keep Fizz from exploring inside said machinery, Sarah and Captain Catdog discuss the currents and other nautical subjects, making constant course adjustments to avoid reefs and other ships. What other ships? It's all frozen and we're underwater. How many submarines are down here? As the old captain starts retelling his colorful tale of the terrible sea monsters now living in the sunken city of Eleanor for the third time, you decide to join Sarah in the submarine's control room. She's staring outside with a peculiar, excited expression on her face, and just as you enter the glass enclosure, you notice a gigantic shadow move overhead. X. Okay, I guess we're... Oh, wait, nope. Well, she's taken over. A strange, deep echoing sound stops you all in your steps. Sarah instantly turns a switch, and the speed of the submarine comes to an abrupt halt. Everybody quiet, it's a moon whale. Let me handle this. Wow, Sarah, your voice got deep all of a sudden. The young woman runs to a strange-looking tube that seems to run all the way outside the submarine and places her mouth to it. Then, as surreal as it sounds, Sarah speaks into the tube. Has the girl gone mad? She speaks moon whale. I don't have time for your crazy moon language. The huge creature just outside the thin metal shell of the submarine responds. The powerful cry sends chills running down your spine. Sarah sings another strange reply, and the whale responds almost instantly. Sarah and the whale continue their bizarre duet for a couple of verses more, then the sound of the whale grows stronger than before. It's now enough to make the whole submarine reverberate. Oh no, the creature's starting to sound angry. Does the giant think the submarine's another whale trespassing on its territory? The captain bites the brim of his hat, beads of sweat dripping from his brow. Even the brave little Firefly seems to have developed a temporary lapse in his overflowing courage. You can hear the loud buzzing coming from behind the eel cage. But Sarah remains calm. She doesn't seem shaken by the furious whale and continues the discussion. Is she trying to dissuade the beast from smashing the submarine? You can just barely stop yourself from grabbing the controls and trying to outswim the beast with Steamy's little engines. It's because that wouldn't lead to a mighty chase sequence of death. Then you hear a quiet tingle, and something small rolls down the speaking tube right into Sarah's hand. The whale must have dropped it. Is it a weapon? Some sort of container of poisonous gas? An explosive? A harmless-looking little ball to transform into a ninja fighting fairy? Sarah exclaims into the speaking tube with a happy, relaxed tone. The massive creature answers her one last time, then you see the enormous shadow lift as the creature turns around. After a surprisingly small number of effortless-looking flicks of its tail, the dark giant becomes just a small gray dot in the far end of the vast turquoise world surrounding you. Why was the whale angry and what happened? Oh no, I didn't realize. That must have sounded pretty strange to you. Luna wasn't angry. We were discussing her new nephew, and she's pretty excited about becoming an aunt. And she's met a new male. There's even talk of marriage, but we'll see. Luna and I have been friends for a long time now. She's not the kind of whale to rush into... Captain, what have you gotten me into? This girl's talking to whales. And the whales are talking back. Sarah looks down at the tiny black stone in her palm. So what is that? This kind of looks like the marbles kids play with, doesn't it? She inspects the little object closely. I have no idea, though, honestly. Luna just said she wanted me to keep it in my mouth because I would need it at the party. To keep it in my mouth probably means I should hold on to it. They don't have a concept of pockets. She actually talked a lot about what I should do with it, but there's simply no way to translate for some of the concepts to human language, and I don't think I understood half of what she was saying. Sarah scratches her head, looking at the tiny object. What do you think I should do with the pebble? It's bound to be dark magic. Keep it. I better keep it safe then. I know Luna wouldn't have given it to me without a good reason. I just have to find out what that reason is. That's assuming Ixel didn't pay her off to send us off into the darkness of the abyss with a tiny capsule full of dark magic poison that will kill us and then raise us through its necromancy. And then turn the submarine into a lobster. We better get going. There's still a long way to Eione, and the air supply isn't going to last forever. She runs off to pilot the ship, and soon you are on your way to Eione again. The long voyage to Eione is far from easy, after many days spent with pirate ships, tentacled sea monsters, strong currents, and jagged reefs, a few engine breakdowns presumably caused by the ventures of some overly enthusiastic big fish, and one cage left open incident almost resulting in a near-fatal electrocution incident, you finally managed to reach the lost island of Eione. I'm honestly surprised there wasn't a Fizz did something incident, but, you know, we should be glad when things go to plan. As to plan as they went, for they didn't go to plan, but as you approach the peaceful-looking shore, you can't help but wonder where on this island your brother Robert hid the gem, and whether he lived a long, happy life in the past or died a gruesome death trying to help you save your father and defeat the evil King Ixel. Neither, if my current theory is true, but we'll find out. Here we are, Eione. We finally made it. She looks relieved. I'd love to see the island. I've been dreaming about it ever since I was a kid. Hope you don't mind if I come with you. Sure, why not? Great, I'll just grab my bow. She reaches under her desk and pulls out an old bow. I'm all set, let's go. Well, Captain? Jumpin' jellyfish, we made it to Eione and we're still breathing. So it seems, Captain, and Steamy's in one piece too. This ship's a real treasure, that she is, aye. You wanna come with us? By the murderous melodies of the mermaids, I would most definitely and wholeheartedly not like to accompany you to Eione. I've spent more than enough of my time on that wretched island, avoiding that terrible undead man and almost eating my own legs. Blimey, blooming bombflower. You've been to Goron territory, I see. I'll stay right here and make sure there's a ship for you to come back to. But remember to be careful, that undead man could be lurking just around the corner. Eione is like an island designed to kill you. Yeah, that's probably my brother's doing. He's good at that. Island designed to kill me. Are you going a bit far? No, I'm going nowhere. Captain CatDog looks absolutely intent on staying inside. Anything you'd like to tell me about the island that would help? You want my advice, stinky, sarcastic sea snake. Stay as far away as possible from the walking skeleton and his stone statue. That's what I did, and I lived to tell the tale. If I were you, I'd also watch out for the burning hot fumes of those stinky holes in the ground. Just keep your eyes open and leave that rotten island as soon as you possibly can. Bye, Captain. Hello, Zappiel. Ely. I'm trying to get out. How does out? I want out. Let me out. Switch. Oh, there we go. Exit submarine. There was just too many people clustered around it. Do we really need... Well, I guess the steam eel is still feeling ticklish. I was going to say, why is the engine still running? But it runs because it does. Whoa, dear. I've found too many things all at once, and I'm probably dying to an ooze while I'm reading a book. I guess there's worse ways to die, but anyway. Island Diary, Day 2. I, Eugene CatDog, finally made it to Eione. The Eione, where no man has seen before. Note to self, the squid ink works like a dream. The currents and mermaids very nearly got me, but only nearly. 2 days ago at dawn, my ship crashed in the reefs just by shore, and I had a real taste of the infamous currents of Eione. I didn't give up, not for a second. I swam the day and night through like a prize-winning catfish. When I started my swim, I was not even a drift log away from the beach, but I could barely hold my position, let alone progress towards the shore against the vigorous currents. This entire island is a giant clockwork machination that's producing currents as it drifts along the ocean. Ain't it, Robert? Ain't it? I don't trust him. I don't, you know, he's fiddling with the past, and I just don't trust it. Anyway. By the evening of my second swimming day, I finally dragged myself to shore and spent the night under a ship's carcass. Looks to be my own ship. So you could have just stuck to the ship and you'd have made it to shore a lot sooner. Sad. After a night of restless sleep and aching muscles, I woke up and found a squid right next to my newfound emergency quarters. What a convenient discovery. So as my first chore, I took out my watertight journal. I hereby swear I'll make a note in my diary every time one of these squids washes up on shore. Today I intend to search through the island and discover its fabulous treasures. They say those treasures are enough to fill a man's wildest dreams. After that, I'll make myself a decent shelter. The squid ink is almost finished anyway, so I might as well have time and have it for breakfast. 35. So that's 32 days later. Island Diary, day 35. I'm sorry I ever departed on this journey. It was just a young man's foolish attempt at fame and fortune. What I'd give now to be back home working with Jacob at the Steam Whale Company. This island is sheer horror, and even these squids are hard to get a hold of. Right after my previous entry, I embarked on an adventure to examine the island, but what an adventure it was. I burned myself when examining a foul-smelling hole in the ground, volcanic, which suddenly erupted in boiling hot steam. Walking the shores, I first saw a legion of ruined ships, and then an unthinkable, a living, walking skeleton. It's not like we live in a world with talking wolves and lizard people and necromancy is a known thing. Why would a walking skeleton be a shock to you? Because the game really wants to emphasize this walking skeleton for reasons that I will leave unspoken as of yet. I instantly hid and have been hiding from the monster man ever since. Luckily, that creature stays mostly in a secluded western peninsula. He seems to have built a sinister black statue which produces a ghostly noise that sends chills down my spine. It seems I've been able to keep myself hidden from the skeleton so far, otherwise that monster would surely have eaten me. With what? He ain't got organs! And speaking of food, I could definitely use a lot more of it. I found no sign of the amazing treasures of Eione. The only comfort I have is a parrot who seems to have taken a liking to me. I've named her Countess. Ah, there goes the ink again. Island Diary, day 115 at least. Another squid! Finally, it feels like day 10,000. I swear when I get back home, I'll never set my foot on the island of Eione again, not in a million moons. Even if I had found the greatest treasure in Driftmoon, what is treasure compared to all that you value to your very life? I've been lurking in the shadows, avoiding that terrible skeleton man. Lurking in the shadows has gotten easier since I've gotten thin enough to hide behind tree trunks. Excuse me. That's the only good side of the food situation. I built myself a stone shack in the southern part of the island. I pray the monster man doesn't notice it. He mostly stays away from this beach. Oh, I do fear him more than anything I've ever feared before. I also had a strange idea to train my parent Countess and teach her to speak to a turtle. Turtles are supposed to be smart, and I think the bird may just be able to handle it. Countess understands me remarkably well, smart birdie. She's a real godsend to that one. I've devised a cunning plan to get out of here, but the ink. If you can speak turtle, and then you were trying to teach the bird to speak turtle, couldn't you just cut out the middleman and speak turtle yourself? Or do the turtles trust birds? This is something that needs more research. Island Diary, day 10,000. Just kidding, maybe more like 250? That skeleton guy looks like a bloodthirsty vampire fish. I'm surprised I haven't ended up on his plate yet. The monster hangs around his ghastly stone statue a lot, and he's building something else too, something mechanical. Maybe it's some devious device for hunting humans. Yeah, because there's clearly a lot of them on this island. I've stayed away from the statue. There's been strange new clicking sounds coming from that direction. So help me, so help me if I find out Robert filled this island with tickers. Or a skeleton that can produce tickers. Anyway, I put together a little boat in the only bay calm enough to keep it intact, but when the boat was almost done, I woke up in the morning and noticed a huge boulder had blocked the narrow water passage. I have no idea how it got there. There's no way for that boat to sail to sea anymore. I can't carry it on my shoulders. I'm hungrier than ever. I even had a little accident with my feet, or rather my shoes. A good thing those shoes were made of leather because they made a decent addition to my coconut diet. Oh, and Countess is progressing surprisingly well. If I'm on the map, I think she's already talking to a Dagoo. Why are you on a map? Eventually she'll... ink. Island Diary, last entry. Something like day 350. How do you know it's the last entry before you wrote it in time for you to put last entry? Anyway, a squid just in time. Countess has done it, the amazing bird. She learned to speak at least a dozen different animals' languages. And now she's learning moon whale from a young snatcher who claims he's a pirate. Yeah, I've met him. As weird as it sounds, this snatcher actually speaks human, too. I've been able to understand that he and the Countess are currently on a trip trying to find a moon whale and convince him or her to save me from my prison. I'm supposed to travel inside the whale's mouth. Even if the whale eats me, I'd much rather end up eaten by a whale than in some undead fellow's stomach. He has no stomach, he's a skeleton, you fool. Doesn't mean he couldn't chew on you, but he ain't gonna digest you. And if he doesn't swallow me, I'll finally have a chance to return home. Home, here I come. P.S. I'll leave this diary here inside my humble abode in case some other poor human ever walks these wretched shores again. There's an ooze. There's 2 oozes. There's 3 oozes. 4 oozes. And a blinding light. All I know is acid and pain and blindness. Why is the feather outside? There's also a goldfish right here. Dexterity 1. I just happened to see it. It's so nice when I see the ooze. Anybody want to finish off the ooze there, though? No? You gonna make me do it? Fine. None of them dropped anything. They just gave me experience. Those be footprints. Why those be footprints? Hello, Spiky. Help. Ah. Mechanical snatcher is not a sound enemy. There we go. Flurry. And he dropped a berry seed for some reason. Cat and cat dogs riding, no doubt. Skeleton. A torch. And a note. Leo, if this letter ever reaches you at your monastery, this is goodbye. It's the end of Jack and me. Our ship and all its treasures lie at the bottom of the sea, and we're on this raft squabbling over who will eat the last boot. Take it from me, little bro. It ain't worth it. The life of a pirate may sound pretty grand in the manual, but it's lies. It's all lies. Max. Deliver Max's letter to Leo. Can I? Nope, I cannot use the world map. Good job, game. I'm really glad I can't. A lot of games do this thing where no matter where you're at, even if the plot demands you're trapped, you can still fast travel off elsewhere. So I like it when games don't do that. It's inconvenient in the temporary, but it's very much better for plot. Is that the statue? Is it a set of wind chimes? Little boat. Spiky. Okay, Spiky, we're gonna fight you. There we go. I got some experience out of it. Fireflower. Mario is nearby. I'll just be taking this. Fireflower is not possible during combat. Good to know. Level up. Strength. What is this? When your health is below 30%, your strength is boosted. That's neat. I kind of like that spell. I kind of like that spell, but I kind of like that spell. But I like that spell, but must have summon. I don't remember what most of these do. I'm gonna put you there. Activate. Yay, I have a magic sword. What do you think of the island? Since we're talking, apparently, due to a misclick. It's a little too surrounded by water for my taste, but the mist is good for my fur. See how it shines? Velvet takes a proud look at her shining fur coat. But the Rakan! When will we find the Rakan? Trust me, Velvet, this is the way to defeat King Ixel and his Rakan followers. Fine, lead us to them, my royal servant. Oyster. Box of fish. Why is there a box of fish? Oh, Usto. Yeah, I see there's something over there, but I hear a ticker. Well, a badly disguised ticker, because it actually said tick. Okay, we will go this way. I guess there's no reason not to. I love that you can see the help sign there. I know if I go around, there's going to be some stuff up here, so I'm trying to be thorough in my exploration and not go making a beeline for the destination. Also, Fireflower. Give me Mario. It's a green-leafed lush plant with one large flower bud in the middle. It looks a lot like the fireflowers that used to grow in Granny New Moon's exotic garden, but it's definitely the largest one you've ever seen. Examine it! You carefully examine the flower's bud. The petals of the bud are still firmly shut, but they're not tightly glued together. Maybe the bud will be ready to open soon? Granny New Moon used to go on about her exotic garden, but you can only recall there was something special she had to do to get the flowers to open. What on Driftmoon could make a fireflower bloom? Suddenly you notice Fizz is glowing strangely. Fizz jumps around in the air and seems to be even more excited than usual. Let me try it. This is my type of flower. Oh boy, I know I can do it. It's going to eat you, but okay. With a loud buzzing noise, Fizz zooms towards the flower. And Fireflower has a large, beautiful flower that seems to change color slowly between red and yellow. There's a rich, flowery scent in the air. Dang it! It feels warm in your hand. An ancient magical plant. Yeah, I know. I know of a plumber that used to make quite good use of them. This is gonna hurt, but... or not. Something, something, another halfling. Oh, wait, is that the statue? Should I not go this way? You know what? We're gonna go pester the statue. In the middle of the clearing stands a gigantic, roughly sculpted stone head. As you come closer, its single green eye turns towards you and the stone mouth opens. A one-legged, one-handed mystery man, walking with half of him missing. Very interesting indeed. My name is Rapakivi, dear half-man, and what manner of creature are you, my friend? And now all I can think about is Night of the Museum. Dum-dum, you give me gum-gum. Anyway, I'm not missing half of myself. It is amazing you can speak without half of your mouth. Ah, these half-beings are the height of fashion now. Every day I see half this, half that, half birds, half goo, half clouds. It wasn't like this when I was a lad, no sir. We used to have whole stones. Even the moon was better. None of this half-moon stuff. I think you're just missing an eye. My vision is fine, I'm sure, but you, my half-friend, are missing a whole eye. You better have that checked out. Who made you? Good questions, half-man. Who made you? Why are you here? We all want to know, don't we? The stonehead seems to think for a while. Now I recall I was made by the creator Robert, and my purpose was to wait for the one. Where's your other eye? My eye? I'm not missing even half an eye. I'm sure I would have seen it if my eye had gone missing. Why, just a while ago, those nice snatchers assured me I have pretty eyes. That sounds like a horrible idea. No. Ah, you were made by Robert? I'm sorry, half-man. The one I wait for is a whole man, I am sure, not a halfling like you are. But still, I like you all the same. I'm going to suggest that we pester the snatchers. And take this antidote. Why was it in the water? Nobody knows. Oh, that's what that ticking sound was. Yeah, there's a... Let's not. This thing is tough. How dare you be tough? There we go. So we're looking for snatchers. Or a pile of spikies. I'll take that. Will they hurt each other? No, they chew through my health, though. Run away! Bagel! 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 Thank you, Bagel. Bagel is always. Okay, there we go. All the spikies is down. And we got a chest. Was there a purpose in well, other than just farming for experience, I guess. I'm just massacring the spiky population. It's not like this island needs more spikies. Ow. I'm impatient, okay? We've established that. I didn't want to wait. Sure, I could just slip across here. Man, there's so many spikies. Summon the sword! It's nice having a team that can... Examine the rock. It's a rock with moss and plants growing on it. You try knocking it to see if it's hollow, and it makes a decently rocky sound. Got it. Apparently, this is not what I'm looking for. Ooh, an inga-root. Oh, no, that's one I already harvested. A can of food. Mechanical Snatcher. Die, Mechanical Snatcher! Die, Mechanical Snatcher! There we go. Ooh, an evil berry seed. Those things are really worth fighting because they have evil berry seeds in them. Someday, I'm just going to go somewhere and plant a whole lot of those things. And ooze. And a smaller ooze. And another... You know, I'm poisoned and I should probably deal with that. Well, never mind, I'm not poisoned anymore. I could use reverse ooze slime to explore faster. Hello, Dagoo. Beep. Have you learned a tweet from Captain Catdog's parrot? Countess! Yip, yip. The Dagoo looks excited, wildly wagging its tail. Do you speak any human? Beep. Chirp with you later. Chirp. Fair enough. I'll just be taking this food and gold and arrows, and you have a happy to go life. Sign. E loves E. I don't get the message on that piece of driftwood, but those letters are huge. Oh dear, that's gonna be a journey and a half, ain't it? I'm gonna assume that the mechanical snatchers and that whole situation going on in there is important. Yeah, they don't like me being here. So there. Ah, but alas, we'll have to see what's inside here tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, next time. I'm gonna go ahead and pause here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for dealing with my insanity, and I will see you next time.